Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys had a great night tonight. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. I also do a bunch of other content as well. In my Discord. All these posts get posted on this subreddit right here. It's called DF Sports. I make updates with all the news that comes out and stuff like that. There was news today, and yesterday. So it's important to check that out. And you can talk strategy here with other people. You can ask me questions. I'll always reply to you, like about the slate and stuff like that. So check that out if that's something you're interested in. And then if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can do so on Twitter at Tory Langley1992. But I'm slower to get a hold back to you guys on Twitter than I am Reddit, so I don't really check my Twitter messages too often. But if you have something personal that you need to send me that you don't want out in the open on Reddit, you can message me on Twitter. Or you can message me on Discord if you have me added on Discord. And my Discord link will be down below where I have in-depth content going over each slate. I give you guys a core of 4 players to play. I give you a player pool that has cash plays, tournament plays in it, a whole bunch of stuff. I'll give you showdown cores, night slate cores, just pretty much everything. Also, I do cover the XFL in my Discord. I don't make public videos for it yet. I might start doing that once the NBA is over. But I also do cover that in Discord. We've been absolutely smashing the XFL. Going over my lineup from today and yesterday, because you guys didn't get to see my lineup yesterday. First, I just want to shout out, we've been absolutely just crushing the playoffs. Just absolutely crushing the playoffs. There were so many more than this, but this was just yesterday. Just insane win there. Just $320 into $6,000. This was my lineup. We had $100 into over $3,000. We had $17 into $400. We had about $100 here into $2,000. We had more tonight. Good night here. We had nice double up there. $20 into $800. It's just been absolutely fantastic. I don't know what else to say with how well we have been doing in the playoffs. 600 into 1300. What? $50 into 400 there. Showdown Bink there on FanDuel. It's just been absolutely amazing. So, going over my lineup from last night. The core that I had yesterday was Anthony Edwards. He absolutely smashed. Bobby Portis. He absolutely smashed. I had Tyus Jones. He was fine, and then Gabe Vincent. And then I rounded out my lineup with Joe Ingles, Cat, and I have a cat problem. I know, I have a cat problem. Drew Holiday, Brooke Lopez. So that was yesterday. Won $1,000 yesterday. I finally had a losing day, and that day was today. I really, really did not want to play Klay Thompson. Once we got Jordan Poole starting, I really didn't want to play Klay. I really did not. I wasn't finding anything that. I was trying to get up to Chris Paul. Chris Paul didn't have the best of games either, but I was trying so hard to get off Klay, and I just wasn't finding anything. I tried to get up to Dante off man too. It just wasn't working out. So I finally had a losing day. The core that I had for today was Westbrook. He nuked. Kevon Looney was also a core play for me. He nuked. Norman Powell was also a core play for me. He nuked. And then I had Andrew Wiggins as a core play. He did very well. So 4-4 on the core on both last 2 days. It's been absolutely phenomenal. So let's go over the slate, and they still have not priced anyone up, and I don't understand it. I really, really don't. So, good matchup here. Really like the spot. these games have been playing very, very well. You're going to get close to 40 minutes from Jason Tatum. You're going to get close to 40 minutes from Jaylen Brown. I think both are solid plays. I think there are plays that I do prefer. Like, I think I'd rather play Ant for cheaper. I think I'd rather play Ant over Jaylen. I think I'd rather play Jamal Murray over these guys, point per dollar. I think I prefer, some cheaper options down here. But I think both the top two guys here for Boston do look good. They're just going to run the show here offensively and just do absolutely everything for this team and play big minutes. And it's one of the better matchups on the slate. It's one of the better games on the slate as well. So I think Tatum, Brown, both look good. I do give the edge to Tatum, but I do like both. And then here's where we get into the plays that are going to be pretty popular here once again. So Derek White, I still don't think is priced up enough. He just has a really good role right now. Now, he's not going to keep shooting 60% from the field, but he's going to play huge minutes. The role is very, very good right now. I still think he's a pretty good play, even at 6'1". Marcus Smart at 5'8", I still think he's a bit too cheap. I like him a lot. Now, he's not going to play as many minutes as the other guys, but he'll be pretty productive when he's on the court. Has a pretty high floor with the peripheral stats, so good defender, can get those coveted steals. So, like Smart quite a bit. Al Horford at 5'6", has been pretty disappointing of late, but I still think he's a pretty safe play. And then Brogdon had a huge game last game. Now, he's not going to play as much as the other guards, but he'll actually be the most productive of the bunch. It's going to come down to ownership. Like, if Malcolm Brogdon is going to be much lower owned than White and Smart again, then yeah, I'm perfectly fine taking shots on Malcolm Brogdon. Now, if Malcolm Brogdon is going to be extremely, extremely popular tomorrow over like Marcus Smart, I'd much, much rather just play Marcus Smart. But Brogdon will be the most productive of the bunch, but he will also play the least. But I like all three of the guards quite a bit, and I think Al Horford is a pretty safe play. Robert Williams at 4.5. I think we get low 20s minutes from him. I think he's a pretty solid value play too. I think he should be above 5K in my opinion. So I like this whole Boston team. I do. And then it's impossible to get to anyone off of the bench there for Boston outside of the ones who went over. On to Atlanta. So some interesting pricing here as well. Price came down on Trey. DeJounte Murray, I believe, is at the same price. About the same price. Then everyone else priced down. So I like the ceiling quite a bit on Trey. I like the ceiling quite a bit on DeJounte Murray. Now, this is another thing. DeJounte Murray's had the good games back to back here. I have a feeling he's going to be more popular than Trey tomorrow. So give me Trey over DeJounte Murray all day long. I think both are solid. But I do prefer Trey to DeJounte. Clint Capella, I think they're good plays. Clint Capella at 5'4", and you have Onyeka Okongwu at 4'1". Now, if we take a look at the rotation last game, they actually, I believe, closed with Okongwu. I don't know if they'll do that again. It definitely leaves me a bit worried with Capella. Like, if I knew Clint Capella was going to play 28 minutes tomorrow at this price tag, I would play him. I would 100%. He would 100% be in my lineup tomorrow. So, I mean, if you think Capella closes over Okongwu, then yeah, play him. I think he looks very, very good at this price. My only concern is they can always go to Okongwu. Bogey at 5'1", they just need his offense. They do. So he's locked into 28 plus minutes right now, and he's going to provide a spark off the bench. I think he looks good at 5'1". Definitely a solid play to me. And then these value plays I don't think are priced up enough. They're going to need DeAndre Hunter out there for defense. He's locked into big minutes as long as he can stay out of foul trouble. So he's another very, very safe and solid value play. John Collins, I know, is horrible, but he played 30 minutes last game. I think he's okay. I do prefer Hunter over him. And then Okongwu, I think we get around 20 minutes regardless, and then if he closes, could play a bit more. I think he's another solid value as well. So a lot to like with this Atlanta team, shockingly. So this is the most unappealing matchup-wise game on the slate. I still think plays are pretty intriguing in this game on this side and the next side, considering pricing. So the good thing here with the Cleveland Cavaliers is they're going to run an extremely tight rotation. You're going to see like 42, 43 minutes here for the main guys. So if that is the case, which I expect it to be the case, I love Mitchell's ceiling for GPPs. He had a pretty bad game last game. Only shot the ball 11 times. I think he comes out super, super aggressive here. I'm fine going right back to Mitchell tomorrow. I think he'll be pretty low owned, and if he's low owned, he's one of my favorite tournament plays on the slate. Darius Garland had a nice bounce back game last game, of course, when I finally fade, but 7-4 is pretty intriguing to him. For him, I think he's solid. I definitely do prefer, I think I prefer Jalen Brunson over Darius Garland in the same game, but I'm fine with Garland. The bigs, there's also going to play huge minutes. Now that they're close in price, I might prefer Mobley to Allen, but both are very, very safe plays. And then Karis LeVert at 4-7 played 40 freaking minutes last game. Now, I don't think we'll get 40 minutes again. You also saw Coro get into foul trouble early, and he didn't come back. So I don't know if they'll do that again. I think normally we'll get around 25 to 30 minutes from him. Karis LeVert, that is making him a solid value. But I think he'll go a bit over-owned tomorrow after this performance. So, yeah, Okoro, I can't play Okoro. And then Chetty probably gets 15 to 20 minutes, a fine dart for tournaments in like 150 lineups. You saw the dust of Danny Green get played. I will not be playing Danny Green. So, yeah. That's the Cavs. Let's move on to the Knicks. So, I love Brunson tomorrow. You guys know I was extremely high on him lastly. I'm extremely high on him again here. I got pulled because of the blowout. He was on pace to absolutely nuke. His usage rate right now is absolutely elite. He shot 29% from the field. Still did very, very well. Obviously, he's going to have the ball in his hands the most on this team. I know the matchup isn't great. I know this game environment isn't great, but I just think the production will be there from him, and I think 7-6 is just too cheap for Brunson. So I'm in love with Brunson tomorrow. I think Randall's solid at 8-2 too, but I definitely do prefer Brunson. RJ, I'm not going to get to anyone else. I think RJ's overpriced. I don't like Josh Hart's role. Mitch Robinson does have a ceiling, but him and Hart kind of splitting the center minutes. Like, I guess I kind of like Hart because same thing with like a Kongu. He'll probably get around 20 minutes regardless. So I think he's okay actually at 3-8. So I don't hate Hartenstein, but I'm mainly looking at the main guys in Randall and Brunson there. Denver. So if you feel comfortable with the value, I think Jokic is fine. I obviously the ceiling's there, but I feel like this is Jamal Murray's team in the playoffs right now. I really do. Super, super. Obviously, if you have the value, I think Jokic is a great play. Great play. Obviously, I don't have to go over why I think Jokic is a good play. It's Jokic. But Jamal Murray in the playoffs has been phenomenal. He's going to play close to 40 minutes. He's going to do everything for this team. Him, Jokic. I think he looks very good here once again. Now, him and Brunson, probably my two favorite tournament plays on the slate if they're not going to get ownership. I really like both. If I had to pick between one, I give the small edge to Jamal Murray, but I love both. MPJ, I believe, got in a massive foul trouble last game, lost some minutes. I think we get low to mid 30s minutes from him normally, makes him a safe play at 6-2. Aaron Gordon, another just like fine filler piece for me. I'm okay with it. I might prefer Aaron Gordon to Michael Porter Jr. And then Bruce Brown, I think we get around 25 minutes from him, another fair value. KCP played huge minutes last game. I think we get around 30 to 35 from him. Has to hit shots to reach value. Just another guy like I'm okay with as the last man in. Jeff Green, he'll play around 20 minutes. If you're going for that more stars and scrubs build, I completely get it, but it's not fun. It's definitely not fun. On to the Timberwolves. So I think Ant looks very solid. I know the price came up a bit, but must-win games here. Played 42 minutes last game. He looked absolutely phenomenal out there. I think, with how they're running their off, it's just Ant. It's literally just Ant. Cat can't hit the broadside of a barn. Rudy Gobert is Rudy Gobert. Kyle Anderson's off the bench. Mike Conley's been good, but look at this team right now. If they're going to want to win games, it's going to have to be Anthony Edwards. So I still think Ant looks like another very good play at 8-5. I played Cat back-to-back slates, and he's just done absolutely terrible. I'll probably be fading tomorrow, and he's going to absolutely nuke the slate. But the matchup is just horrid for Cat. So Unfortunately for me, just a tournament play, but I still think looks good. Saw Rudy Gobert gain minutes and a usage bump from cat foul trouble. I think he's an okay play, like a safe play. I'd rather play like Jared Allen over him or Evan Mobley, but another like fine play. Kyle Anderson will play low to mid 20s minutes off the bench. 5'7" seems about right for him. Mike Conley, I really like at 5'5". Back to huge minutes. Might have gained some from other players getting into foul trouble, but it's just too cheap. So I think Mike Conley looks very good to me. If Prince continues to start, I like him quite a bit for value. Got in a massive foul trouble last game. I think if he starts, we get around 25-ish minutes from him, making him one of the better value plays on the slate if he starts. And then if they go back to NAW, obviously I really like NAW. But NAW is definitely still in play if he doesn't start. And I think that'll do it. So we'll go through the standouts to me like I've been doing for the past few slates. So um, Donovan Mitchell, Anthony Edwards, Trae Young, Jamal Murray, Jalen Brunson, Marcus Smart, Derek White, Mike Conley, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Karis LeVert, DeAndre Hunter. I think Rob's okay, but not a standout. Prince if he starts, and then I think Okongwu and Hartenstein are okay. Trying to see if I missed anyone at the top. So yeah, Donnie, Ant, Trey, Murray, Brunson. I don't think I missed anyone. Maybe one of the Cleveland bigs, Derek White, Marcus Smart, Mike Conley. Yeah. I think that'll do it for the video, guys. I hope you guys had a good night, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.